and Nashville over Vandy. She was able to take and shoot from outside, go out inside. She was the difference maker in that basketball game.
A lot of people think she might be the Collegiate Player of the Year this year. On the other side of the court, Joe Ciampi has found a very athletic swing player in 5'10" Tasha Hamilton. Had a double-double on Thursday night.
I don't think there's any doubt the secret to Auburn's chances today to beat Tennessee is Hamilton's play. She must be able to not only penetrate, she's got to shoot the basketball from outside, because she's the player that Auburn must have to beat Tennessee.
Well, we talked about it briefly. An offensive game for Tennessee is what they'd love to certainly get this game up into the high 70s and low 80s. But Joe Ciampi's team will play you pretty much tooth and nail down the stretch. You're going to have to work for every single basket, every single point against his Auburn Tigers. But certainly there are other keys to this game. What are your thoughts as we take a look at Van's view?
I don't think there's any doubt about it, Dave. First of all, Auburn has to beat the Tennessee pressure, and that's full court in half. If you turn the ball over too much, you give up Tennessee too many opportunities. Utilize the shot clock, reduce this from a 40-minute game down to about 30 minutes. Tennessee, on the other hand, I think they need balanced scoring. They've had 4 players to score all year. They need another player to step up. And then you've got to beat the Auburn matchup zone, or you're not going to score very much.
Well, this Auburn Tiger basketball team has been extremely hot of late, winners of 6 in a row. Meanwhile, Tennessee has won 11 straight. 2 red-hot teams, 2 of the best in the conference. It's coming your way next from Thompson Bowling Arena, the SEC Game of the Week, number 11 versus number 2. Stay with us.
The new 2-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee offers impressive power and handling. And with a special introductory lease of just $299 a month, it's no wonder everyone's going out of their way to get a look at it. The $299 a month Grand Cherokee lease. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
The Sony home entertainment universe. Nothing else seems to matter. But first you need to put one together. And shopping for a home system is something Sony can help you do. So just call 1-877-771-SONY and we'll send you a free personal home entertainment planner, which includes a buyer's guide, so you'll know exactly what you need to know before you shop. The planner also comes with a complete listing of all the products that make up the Sony home entertainment universe. To get started on yours, call toll-free 1-877-771-SONY and we'll help you through the process.
Think pro wrestling is easy? Check out Wrestling 101. Going deep tonight at 9.
It's got the feel of a rock and roll concert inside Thompson Bowling Arena as the 11th ranked Auburn Tigers get set to take on the 2nd ranked Tennessee Lady Volunteers, as the Lady Vols are being introduced to a crowd of about 18,000 on Senior Day here in Knoxville. And we just by chance happen to have seen something you don't see very often in the women's game. Michelle Snow, 6'5", center for Tennessee, puts one home in warm-up, sent the crowd into a frenzy. And she pretends like it's no big deal.
Yes, but let me tell you, she's a player that I will predict that will dunk a ball in a game before long, because she has the mentality to do that.
Those are our starting 10 today. Tiffany Krantz, Tasha Hamilton in the backcourt for Auburn. Lawson and Clement. Keep an eye on Kara Lawson, number 20. Just a freshman, a sharp shooter to say the least. Forwards are Askew and Willingham going against Randall and Catchings. Doesn't get much better than that anywhere in the country. That foursome. And in the middle, it's LaShonda Stevens, number 34 for Tennessee. The senior gets the start on Senior Day. Michelle Snow will come off the bench.
I don't think there's any doubt in my mind. It's a touch of class on Pat Summitt's part to start Stevens in your last game, to show a little appreciation for what you've done for us over the long period of time. Work hard, practice every day. She's been hurt. I think that just separates a lot of coaches out there.
Well, Stevens has only played a total of 43 minutes in 11 games this season. She missed all of last year with arthritis in her knees, but she worked her tail off in the offseason, got healthy enough, and they gave her the go-ahead to come back here in the 1999-2000 campaign. And there's a look at our series history. Tennessee leads this one 18-8, and Tennessee won a pretty good one at Auburn last year, 71-63. Matter of fact, only 9 teams have come in here and beaten Tennessee inside Thompson-Boling Arena. They're 111-9. 2 of those losses came to the hands of that man, Joe Ciampi, 490 and 150 as a head coach at Auburn. And Pat Summitt, well, she's picked up 6 national championships. Done quite a number for not just Tennessee, but women's basketball in general. 26 years as the head coach of the Tennessee Lady Volunteers.
Yeah, you have 2 of the best coaches in the country. When I was at Ole Miss, I thought Tennessee and Auburn were 2 of the toughest teams, especially defensively, to score against. When you go out there and say, let's pick out the best players, the best coaches, Tennessee and Auburn have them. Some of the best.
We are just about ready for tip-off. Maybe Tennessee will help us out and give us another game like they did Thursday night in Nashville when it went down to .5 on the clock before Tamika Randall knocked down a pair of free throws and give Tennessee the 2-point win.
I think they would like for this game to be a little different than that, especially the coaches. Now, they'd like to win, Dave, don't misunderstand me, but they'd like to have a little breathing room with about 4 or 5 seconds, but I don't think they'll have it today with this Auburn basketball team because Auburn thinks they can win.
Well, we had a whale of a ball game. Let's hope we get one today. Kara Lawson, number 20, the freshman out of Alexandria, Virginia, first in the conference in 3-point percentage.
Auburn is going to play the first 4 or 5 minutes on a man, just giving Tennessee a look that they aren't expecting. You know, Auburn usually plays a matchup zone, Dave. Now to come out in the man, I don't know how long this will last because Joe Champion's bread and butter has been a matchup zone.
That 2-3 zone has been hard to crack. Tiffany Krantz had a great game at Arkansas on Thursday night with 15 points. Got most of her points by just crashing to the basket. 10 on the shot clock. Double team, stolen away. Ace Clement. Willingham is back, or Sparrow is back. The high arching layup, no good. And here come the Tigers. Masha Hamilton pulls up, no good. Ball travels out of bounds. It'll be Tiger basketball.
Same thing we said when we started the show. Auburn has to be able to handle the pressure. Anytime they screen on the ball, it looks like Tennessee's going to double the basketball, double the screen. Auburn's going to have an outlet pass for somebody to go to.
Hamilton off the glass, got it.
Now, what about a reverse here? Auburn's going to press Tennessee. Not a lot of teams press Tennessee. Auburn is in their fabulous 2-2-1, 3/4 court zone press.
Here's Clement. He had a big field goal late in the game against the Commodores. Goes inside off the glass. A breakdown defensively by Auburn.
You got to have more hip side in your man defense there. Eskew got beat. One of the Hamilton or Krantz or somebody should have dropped over and helped out on penetration.
Nearly stolen away by Randall. Askew misses the jumper. Lawson, nice look underneath to Catchings. What a combination those two have developed into.
The freshman Lawson just sees the floor so well, and not only does she see the floor, she makes so many good decisions. A lot of players can do certain things, but when it comes time to make a decision, they're not very good at it.
Here's Askew. And the ball knocked out of her hand. Misses the shot. Rebound to Stevens.
Transition defense. Auburn cannot give up 2 easy layups like they have in the first 2-3 possessions of Tennessee.
It'll be Lady Volunteer basketball.
As you see what we're talking about in transition, or we thought we was going to see, Dave.
We thought it. Don't always believe what you see.
Oh, yes, that's right. Auburn's not in a man. They're in a 2-3 zone with pressure on the point.
Lawson, her 3. In and out. Effortless jump shooter is Kara Lawson. Here's Askew. Good defense by Ace Clement. That'll be a good matchup today to keep an eye on. Krantz on Clement. Sparrow inside on Stevens. Too strong off the glass. Lawson with it. 2 on 3. Randall underneath off the glass. Another assist for Lawson. That's number 2.
Randall posted those sprints then. But what I like about Lawson as a point guard, the ability to see Randall posting up and giving her the basketball in a position that she could make a basket.
Tennessee has rattled off 6 straight since Auburn started the scoring. Again, Sparrow underneath, can't get it to go down. You're looking at one of the premier post players in the conference in Consuelo Sparrow.
You got to be able to make those chip shots against Tennessee because you don't get that many easy looks at the basket.
Askew takes it away from Randall. Nice pass. Shayna Askew finds Tasha Hamilton. Auburn now 2 of 6 from the floor.
Coach Summit won't like transition defense like that very long. You've got to get back. You cannot give up easy baskets in big games.
Lawson certainly has brought a new dimension to this Tennessee offense. The three-point shot, not a real factor in past years, but boy, it is this year. You better defend the three.
Yes, and not only that, she's brought an attitude to that position. An attitude, if you leave me open, I want the shot, I'll make the shot. You won't play us 5-on-4 anymore.
Kara Lawson, she can not only shoot it, she can pass it. She averages about 3 assists a game, and to go along with her 15 points. Tennessee by 2.
Has anyone seen Dave?
Hey, Dave.
When you get Wendy's chicken nuggets, you better be careful.
Dave?
They're so good, everyone will want one.
Dave, you in there?
No one's here. Wendy's 99-cent chicken nuggets, all white meat, so they taste great.
Don't forget the nuggets.
Is Wendy's the place to make your sports fantasy come true? Wendy's and Fox Sports Net are giving away 12 fantasy sports trips in '99. Your next Wendy's receipt can be your ticket to watch your favorite team play a regular season game anywhere in the continental U.S. The Wendy's Sports Fantasy, presented by Fox Sports Net. Tip off the new millennium with SEC Women's Hoops action. Chattanooga, Tennessee hosts the 2000 SEC Women's Basketball Tournament March 2nd through the 5th. $30 gets you the Dr. Pepper 6-pack, which includes 6 general admission tickets to the matchups of your choice. Or purchase a reserve book and catch all 11 games for only $60. Call the UTC Arena at 1-800-472-6050 and order your tickets today. Experience SEC Women's Basketball live.
The hells we have lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will. The night has been long. This morning, I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that together we can be made whole. And still we rise.
Tennessee leads Auburn by 2. Amika Randall getting a little careless, Coach.
No question about it. You put the ball out in front of this Auburn basketball team, Askew will catch the ball. Look at this pass into Hamilton. Little alley-oop inside play and making Tennessee pay a price. I think against Tennessee, so many teams don't realize this. Against this Tennessee pressure, you've got to get some easy baskets. Make them pay a price. Challenge them on every play. Out of every timeout, Joe Champion's trying to change defenses against this freshman point guard, but I don't think she knows the difference. They're now in a zone. Randall didn't know the difference.
Well, Randall turns it over for the second time. She has accounted for all of Tennessee's turnovers here in the first. 4 minutes of this game, 4.5 minutes of this game. Tiffany Krantz on Ace Clement. Hamilton gets in there to fight for it. Auburn has it, and they'll reset it. By the way, Michelle Snow double zero back on the floor now for Tennessee. Willingham misses, catching rebounds.
Willingham has had 2 easy shots inside of him. The freshman playing her first game here shot both the ball over the basket. She's got to relax, come in and make her shot. She's been so consistent for Auburn all year.
Ace Clement for 3, just short. Ace struggling this year offensively. Started the year at the point. They ended up moving her to the 2, kind of take some of that pressure off, and it's worked for this team. Offensively, a lot of other things have happened that have pleased Pat Summit.
But at least Ace did look to the basket the second she touched it. And you see that pressure, they've got to get an outlet person to pass the basketball to.
Traveling violation against Auburn underneath. Hamilton just slipped and fell down. Good defense by Lawson and company.
Yeah, Auburn right now, is they're handling the ball on offense. Tennessee's doubling them, trapping them a lot. They've got to get somebody in the middle of the court that they can pass the ball to and get out of that pressure. They were down to 2 seconds on the shot clock at this time.
Ace over to Randall. Mika with some huge free throws on the road. Shot clock down to 7. And how about the defense from Shayna Askew? She ties up Michelle Snow.
Right now, Auburn is doing an outstanding job defensively of mixing it up. Joe Champion, his team right now, they show man one time, zone one time, kind of a sloughing zone, then an attacking zone. And what Joe and them do, they just do a great job of guarding the shooters and letting the non-shooters go.
France to inbound it. Hamilton has it. Fresh shot clock.
That's one of the things you have to do against Tennessee when you have the basketball out of bounds. You've got to run plays that you've got to bring at least 3 people to the ball because Tennessee pressures so much, and just a fundamental part of basketball. You've got to get it in bounds. That sounds so simple, but it's so hard.
Hamilton lost the handle. 2 very good defensive teams. Tennessee gives up 64 points a game. Auburn gives up 55 points a game. That's second best in the league. The only team any better is Vandy.
Yes, and they do it by pressuring you, just making every pass such a tough pass and contesting every shot.
Stolen away. Turnover number 4 for the Lady Vols. France pushes it up the floor. Great pass inside to Tasha Hamilton. My goodness, those 2 work well together.
Yeah, France dribbled to the right, found Hamilton coming back from the left. Look one way, pass another. That's how you run the break and make the play.
Stolen away, nearly. Catchings from the corner, in and out. Rebound on Randall. She goes over the back of Hamilton, and Auburn a little fired up.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. What Auburn is doing at this time, they're guarding Catchings and Lawson. They're giving the point guards. They're giving Ace and Randall the shot from outside, taking the shots away from other players.
April McDivitt, the freshman, replaces the freshman Kara Lawson. How about this, Coach? Tennessee hasn't scored in 4 minutes.
Look, the pace, everything about this game favors Auburn at this time. They're trying to keep it close, have a shot to win at the end, especially here on the home court of Tennessee.
Willingham misses. Randall gets the rebound. Randall, jump shot, no good. Clement has it to Snow. Her little 10-footer is good.
No question, I think Tennessee has been the best offensive rebounding basketball team at women's college basketball in the last 10 years. Go ahead, Coach. Excuse me, when they shoot it, they do a marvelous job of just going after the ball.
Well, they are first in rebound margin in the conference. Askew. That foul goes against Consuelo Sparrow, battling for the rebound. Tiffany Krantz now has 397 assists. That's 7th all-time at Auburn. She's closing in on 400. That'll help.
There's something about a clear answer to a computer question that makes me want to kiss someone.
Introducing Dell For Me, a new way to buy and own a computer. It lets you get more out of the latest technology. Choose the system you need.
My homepage is my castle.
Even create your own personal website. Since you're dealing directly with Dell, it's easy.
It's pure economics. An affordable computer means more black shoes.
This Dimension desktop featuring an Intel Celeron processor at 433 megahertz, and everything you see here is just $899.
I
wish my computer came with a little cyber geek who lived up here on the roof and just came down whenever I had a question.
And Dell for Me includes tech support 24/7.
Tech support?
It's all about putting everything you need in one place. It's all about you.
Sitting in front of my computer is just as exciting as those extreme sports.
Call to order your Dell Dimension with an Intel Celeron processor. Be direct. Dell.
It's SEC TV Weekly on Fox Sports Net. Join us every Saturday morning as we give you all the news, highlights, in-depth interviews, and player profiles from around the Southeastern Conference. Each and every week, we'll bring you all the slams, jams, and big-time plays like only Fox Sports Net can. From the tip-off to the post-game report, SEC TV Weekly has got it covered. Plus, we'll give you a preview of all the week's matchups as we take you barnstorming around the league. All this and more on SEC TV Weekly, Saturdays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
Tennessee shooting just 40%. They lead by 2 because Auburn shooting just 25%. 11:56 to play in the first half. The 2000 edition of the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament gets underway this evening, or this Thursday in Chattanooga. I hope it's not this evening.
Oh,
we won't be there.
No.
And Fox Sports Net will also be there. Coverage begins with the quarterfinals on Friday. The first of 4 games tips off at 1 o'clock Eastern. The coach and I and Ron Thulin and the whole cast of characters will be on hand for that.
Dave, if you cannot be in beautiful Chattanooga, turn on to the #1 network for women's basketball, Fox Sports Net.
You're all right. You're a good promo man. That's why we had you read the Open today.
I thought we'd reached an all-time low in television when they asked me to do that.
What was that, a battle what?
Battle Royale. That's one of those wrestling terms. I know a big, refined guy like you don't understand that. See.
Great look from Askew to Sparrow. Boy, that was a nice looking play, but I grew up on wrestling. Talk to me about my wrestling.
It's not wrestling. You know, that's not you're a real fan. I just want you to know that.
Snow, her turnaround, tough shot. Rebound to Sparrow. We're tied at 8. This crowd sensing maybe Tennessee sluggish offensively, but give most of the credit, if not all of it, to a great Auburn defense so far. And Tennessee's D hadn't been bad either. Clement calls a timeout, takes it away from Hamilton with 10:54 to go before intermission. We will step aside. Auburn trying to hang tough, but the tough Tennessee D making it hard.
Now, Cornerstone Promotions brings back the spirit of the 60s with the greatest songs of an unforgettable era.
It's a sense of compliments, meaningless nouns. Turn on, tune in, turn your eyes around.
Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair.
To everything, turn, turn, turn. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. In a white room with black curtains. Sign, sign, everywhere a sign. Looking at the scenery, breaking our minds. You and I, travel to the beat of a different drum. Come on, people now, smile.
Spirit of the 60s on 2 cassettes or 2 CDs. Call this toll-free number for Spirit of the 60s. Cassettes $19.98, CDs $26.98 plus $5.50 shipping. Have your credit card ready and call now.
You're there to do a job, you're focused. This is a team. And no one person on the team is more important than the other. You're into your job.
Got the whole world watching the drama.
You want to get on the air, you got to bust your butt and get something special.
I got best seats in the house.
As you'll see, many times Tennessee likes to put their 2-guard or a taller player on a shorter point guard, especially when the point guard's not very big. You see Ace Clements with her long arms just pressuring Krantz. Krantz has nowhere to go. And what Tennessee does is swap guards. They put their point guard on the 2-guard, and then defensively, here you see that pressure. And I think it's a great move by Pat Summitt.
Ace, very intense competitor. hates to make mistakes of any kind. Really gets really hard on herself at times. Misses the jumper, but didn't hesitate, which has been kind of her problem this year.
That's what I like about her. She's had 2 possessions offensively in which she's looked to score. No hesitation. I think that's what she has to do.
Sparrow draws the foul inside. We'll head to the free throw line. That foul goes against Michelle Snow.
For Tennessee, you got Kitchens and Randall, who thinks every shot they have, as we see on the replay, Sparrow catching it inside. And I think if in my opinion, if Auburn's going to be a Sweet 16 team, Sparrow's the one who has to step up. But going back to Ace Clement, as you see Kitchens and Randall, they'd never seen a shot they didn't like or one they didn't think they could make. Clements is over there wanting to pass the basketball. She's got to look to shoot.
Sparrow's numbers are down from her career numbers this year. It has a lot to do with the play of Nicole Willingham. But Auburn fights for the offensive board. Michelle Snow picks up her 2nd consecutive foul in a matter of 5 seconds. And that'll send Willingham to the free throw line.
If Snow committed her 2nd foul, Dave, in 5 seconds, Pat Summitt got her out in 1 second.
Didn't take very long for Coach Summitt to go to the bench. Nicole Willingham, what a freshman season she has had. She averages a double-double in league games.
In this league, I find that's tough to do.
And there goes Michelle Snow, and Jelon Pillow comes onto the court. Jelon has been taking some time off on road games to get her academics, to concentrate on her academics, so she hasn't played the last couple of Thursday nights with Tennessee as they've been on the road, but she certainly participates on their home games.
Yes, but I think that speaks well for the Tennessee staff and the program here, in which you don't do it academically. You don't play basketball. Not many programs can afford to do that, but that's the things that they believe in.
And you know, they had the foresight to realize they're going to be on the road for a while with the SEC tournament. They don't want anything to get behind or fall too far behind academically, so they did what was best. And Jelon didn't have a problem with it.
As she told me before the game, she said, I needed attention, a getter. Academically, I got one. I'm ready. I'm squared away now.
Divot, bounce pass inside, taken away by Auburn. Boy, you just have got to be careful with the basketball as we approach the 10-minute mark.
Auburn is as good as any team in the country, playing that zone, getting in passing lanes, and just stealing the basketball.
France on Clements, nowhere to go. She's double-teamed. Willingham had it knocked out of her hand by McDivitt. She'll be whistled for a foul. Coach, 9-8.
This is an unbelievable score. At this rate, the score will be 40-39. I would have never dreamed that we would be this lower scoring basketball game. It's like just pulling our teeth to get a shot off. Both of them are playing such tough defense, and it's a very low scoring game.
Randall takes a seat. Here comes Lawson. When Jackson's on the floor, Ace Clement will catch her breath. But this Auburn team is known for not having stellar first halves when it comes to scoring points and shooting the basketball. In 10 straight games, their second half shooting percentage and point production has been better.
Yes, and they're getting better. They're right now in their 1-2-1-1 zone press against Tennessee. After Auburn makes the free throw, that's the press Joe Champions always used. But I think Tennessee has better offensive players in the game now than they've had, especially against zone.
Catchings. The three, way too strong. Lawson corrals it. Tennessee now shooting 27%. Shot clock's down to 5. Cross court, Lawson, the three. Got it. That'll break your heart.
Yes, but defensively, you've got to know where Lawson is. She's the #1 3-point field goal percentage shooter in the SEC, shooting 47.1. I don't care where you go defensively, you cannot be that far away from her.
He has shattered the Tennessee single-season record for three-pointers made this year. Blocked from behind by Jackson, blocked again, but Auburn will head to the free throw line. Willingham not detracted by Jackson's good defense.
Yes, that's what you have to do against Tennessee. They're going to try to block a lot of shots. They have good height here. take the ball to them, try to draw fouls, try to remove them from the game. That's where you see Snow sitting on the bench right now for Tennessee with 2 fouls.
Into the basketball game, Larita Spencer, junior college transfer, replaces Tiffany Krantz for a moment. Spencer out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Transferred in from Central Arizona Community College.
This gives them some more quickness at that position, and this will then let this press be more effective. Now you can put Spencer in the middle of this diamond press, and she'll be able to go for the steal.
McDevitt will run the point. That frees Lawson up to be the 2 guard to fire away just like that.
Anytime you play a zone against Lawson, I said it in the Alabama game, you better know where she is. She's a pure shooter. For a freshman, she might be as good a shooter as I've seen in a long time.
Laurie Nero, 44 in the game for Auburn.
Tennessee's in a 2-3 zone. A change of pace for them.
Battle of the benches for the next few minutes. Johnson misses. That's a foul against Auburn. We'll go the other way with it. And that's the first on Hamilton. Here comes Chris Bernath, number 34. The senior out of Budapest, Hungary. Willingham takes a seat. 16 fouls against Tennessee, only 3 against Auburn. Next foul on Tennessee will send the Tigers to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
But I do think at this point in time it's been a well-officiated basketball game. They've kept it under control. They've let it be basketball, not rugby.
Lawson has scored the last 5 Tennessee points. But McDevitt breaks that string with a 3. That's 2 threes today for the Lady Volunteers.
Substitute personnel. One defense will play one group of players. Another defense will play another.
Lady Vols by 3 now. Kicked out of bounds. Reset the shot clock.
Are you struggling a little bit there, partner? I thought that was my role to play.
Well, April McDevitt's just a freshman. She can shoot it just as well.
The hells we have lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will. The night has been long. This morning, I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that together we can be made whole. And still we rise.
Jumping out of planes and rolling out of boats. Being a SEAL is something I've always wanted to do ever since I was a kid.
I'm doing something really cool right now. I'm in charge of a $32 million piece of equipment.
Through the training you learn to be a lot more driven and focused. I definitely picked the right job.
Well, without the Navy, I wouldn't have had money for college.
My parents were very excited that the Navy was going to pay for 4 years of college.
The Navy has many educational opportunities. I could do anything electrical out in the civilian world.
I never realized I was going to get all the additional high-tech computer training and the travel at the same time.
I've traveled to Philippines, Thailand, Australia, you name it, I've probably been there.
What you've seen is just part of the story. Call this number now for your free 12-minute video and see what Navy life is really like. Check out the jobs, training, and money for college that are waiting for you.
If you want an exciting job, this is where you need to be.
Navy, let the journey begin.
The Lady Vols on an 8-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and this is part of the reason why. Freshman backcourt has done the damage the last 8 points. Kara Lawson with a big 3, and McDevitt just hit a 3 as well. Kara Lawson leading the conference in three-point percentage at 47%. Hibbert having a great year for LSU. But Kara Lawson steps in as a freshman and says, excuse me, but nobody shoots it better than me.
Yes, and she has a mentality about her that I like. She doesn't hesitate when she gets the shot. She thinks she's supposed to make it.
She hit the game winner 10 days ago in Starkville with 1.6 seconds left to beat Mississippi State and break the Lady Bulldogs' heart. We got a foul underneath on Chris Bernath, and Joe Ciampi cannot believe it. He laughs at the call.
Yes, he found it unbelievable. As Bernath went around Pillars, it's a tough call, but Bernath tried to get around and hooked her. That's what they call.
Ciampi continues to stroll down the bench in disgust. Catchings. Catchings only has one field goal in this game, just 2 points for her.
Right now, Lawson and McDermott is just making this Auburn zone play so wide, it's going to open up the high post. I think Tennessee's going to be able to go to the high post offensively.
Willingham, Sparrow come back in. Bernath, Nero take a seat. 5 on the shot clock. Lawson trying to find a shot. Nice move. Oh my goodness, is that nice.
What a special young player, but a special player at any age.
Run now for the Lady Vols.
This is all turned on Tennessee going to this zone defense. This is a little, they played more zone today, and I've seen them in a long time.
Hamilton misses the jumper. Catchings with it, pushes the tempo. McDivitt. Catchings from the corner. And that foul will go against Pillow, the 6'3" sophomore out of Addiston, Ohio.
Not only would this foul allow Auburn to shoot a 1-and-1, it's going to allow Auburn to press after this free throw, change momentum a little bit, because they need a momentum change. Right now, Tennessee's gone to a zone. Tennessee substituted, got more shooters into the game against the Auburn zone. This has made a major difference in this game.
Catchings to the bench. She will catch her breath. 1 of 4 from the floor, 4 rebounds. Askew converts a free throw. That breaks that 7-0 Tennessee run.
And I think in a game like this, you cannot allow one team to say go up 8 or 9 or 10 points. You got to keep the game close. You got to keep the pressure on.
Here's that pressure from Auburn. McDivitt splits the double team ahead to Lawson. Randall. Cross court. Taken away by Auburn. Nearly taken away by Auburn. Hamilton playing that zone, playing kind of roamer on the far side, on the backside. Certainly has had a couple of opportunities for some steals.
When Lawson goes through from the strong side to the weak side, Hamilton is not sagging in. They're knowing where Lawson is after she's hit the last 2 shots, and they're watching her at every time.
Lawson again with the shot clock winding down. Can't get it to go down, but here's Randall flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Will now have a chance for a 3-point play.
What makes that a special play is effort. Randall is out here on the right side of the court, about 15 feet out. Lawson penetrates to the basket, as we'll see it. Right now, watch out of the corner of your eye. Watch Randall just run to the basket, catch the basketball, and want to score. Tennessee now will run their full court 1-2, 1-1 press. They're always trying to pressure you, giving you different looks, trying to steal this pass or that pass.
Randall knocks down the free throw. We got ourselves a 6-point advantage for the Lady Vols. Askew back to Krantz, the all-time 3-point leader in Auburn history, knocks down another one.
Her distance, Dave, her distance from the basket, she's at least 6 feet past the line, and that's the kind of play that'll just break your back. There's no defense for that shot.
She has now hit 22 threes this year, down a little bit from her average previous 3 years, but overall 181 threes made in her career, best all time in Auburn. Lawson battling, and Krantz is going to be whistled for a foul. Dan Schisk right on top of it.
I question that call. Now, I know that the Tennessee faithful will think that was a foul, but the way the nature of this game is being played, and this is Southeastern Conference basketball that far out, let them play.
Randall. He's putting it back on the floor after a few minutes on the bench. Lawson, another three. Got it! Lawson continues to fire bullets.
I think Auburn will have to play their zone, but anytime Lawson goes through, they'll have to start playing her in a man. She's too good a shooter.
Rebound to Jackson. Tennessee now knocked down 3 of 8. 2 of those by Lawson, 1 by McDivitt. Dangerous pass by Ace. 5 on the shot clock. Lawson again has to create. If that goes down, this place would have erupted. Sparrow with the rebound. Looking for Askew. Finds her, the little dump down inside. And a hand check against Pillow.
It's automatic. When the ball was passed inside to Sparrow, then Pillar had her hand in her back. And you're going to say one hand, 2 hands, it doesn't make any difference. If you've got your hand in the back this year, it's a foul. Good call. It's in the books. That's what they won't call. Make the call.
And you know what? Exactly. It has been preached since day 1 of this season about the hand checking in the post.
Especially with a hand in the back.
Right. Get it?
Yeah. You've got a height advantage. You're Pillar. You've got at least 2 to 3 inches on Sparrow. Put your hands up. Get your hands off of her. Make her make a shot, and she makes it. Get it out of the net and think about the next play.
You make it sound so easy.
What, how hard is it not to foul?
There's a timeout on the floor. I'm assuming that's a rhetorical question because I'm not answering. 24-20, Lady Vols over Joe Ciampi's Tigers.
Let me win. Let me win. Let me win. Let me win.
But if I cannot 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 win.
Let me be brave. Let me be brave. Let me be brave.
Let me be brave in the attempt.
The Special Olympics.
The Southeastern Conference.
Training for life.
You've got the road refs.
Caller, why don't you kick it off?
Hey guys, I didn't make the travel squad, but I still want to follow the team.
Not to worry, sport. Even if you can't catch a cold, you can always catch a Greyhound.
Good call, Trek. With Greyhound's everyday low fares and no advance purchase, you could go all the way.
I got the old school spirit. Give me a G.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
Oh man, I think the backboard just shattered.
March Madness is finally here, and a trip to the big dance is on the line. SEC tournament action tips off Friday at 1 Eastern on Fox Sports Net. Fox Sports News Primetime wraps up all the day's NBA highlights. You'll see all the big plays. It makes me wish I could play basketball, but I have a slow metabolism, and I'm allergic to my own perspiration. I perspire just watching basketball, especially when it's NBA highlights on Fox Sports News Primetime.
Kara Lawson has scored 10 of Tennessee's last 16 points to help the Lady Vols to a 4-point advantage, just under 4 to go before halftime. And coming up at the intermission, we will take a look at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, recently opened here last year, as a matter of fact, in the city of Knoxville, and really a tribute to the women's basketball game. And you know, when you walk in there, one of the things you notice right away is the lengthy history of women's basketball in this country.
How far it goes back, who started it. It's just a wonderful place to visit. And we played we played the exhibition game up here against Washington last year when they opened it. I was amazed how many things they have.
Picture of you from 1947 or something?
When I had a mustache.
Okay, I was 48. I'm sorry.
We're down there all the time.
Clements has it knocked off her knee. There's 4 on the shot clock. Here goes Randall. Too strong. Pillow the rebound. The stick back is good.
Right now, Tennessee is relentless on the offensive boards. Auburn is going to have to do a better job of blocking out and limiting them to one shot. Defensively, off of one shot, I think Auburn's doing a great job.
Auburn just shooting the ball horrendously. 5 of 18 for 27%. Hamilton underneath on Jackson. He swats it out of there. And a blocking foul called against Randall.
But now offensively on the boards here, Auburn does a good job. As you'll see, Jackson blocked this shot, but then Auburn has the ability to catch the basketball. Willingham goes up, tries again. When you get it blocked one time or your teammate does, go up and attempt another one. We have 3 minutes before halftime. If you're Auburn, what you want to do now is don't let the game get away from you. Don't let Tennessee jump up there and carry this game in the double digits right before halftime. Keep it down to 4 or 5.
Auburn's front court has been pretty impressive at the free throw line today. They have converted 10 of 13 free throws. Askew, Willingham, and Sparrow combined today. Willingham is 6 of 7. Make that 6 of 8.
And no press because of the missed free throw.
Joe Champy, even though there's still 2:50 left to go before halftime, he has kept this score right where he likes it.
This game is progressing like he would. He'd just like for Lawson to miss a shot.
Lawson's on fire, folks. He has 3 3-pointers, 13 points. He's 5 of 8 from the floor with 3 assists and 4 rebounds. Turnover gives it back to the Lady Vols.
You got to be very, very careful if you're Auburn right here before halftime. You don't want Tennessee to be up 10 or 11 going into halftime because it's just too much to make up here at home.
Catchings, who's had a quiet day. Elsie up top gives it to Lawson. Hamilton and Krantz figured out who number 20 was on that possession. Shot clock down to nothing, and Tyra Elsie from 16 feet, and she's not known as a shooter.
But Tennessee had tremendous pressure, patience then. They went from one side of the floor until they got Elsie wide open for a little bitty short jump shot.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time Tennessee has converted with the shot clock under 4. Krantz with 10 on the shot clock. Good defense by Ace. Throws it up. Drew the foul. Exactly what Krantz wanted. Tennessee bench goes ballistic.
But it's consistent. This is the way that these 3 people have called this basketball game all the time. What is happening here is we see Krantz dribble the basketball. Some people may think she's dribbling the basketball too much, but she has nobody to throw the ball to. I still maintain it's not always the point guard's problem. It wasn't Vandy's problem Thursday night at the point guard. They had nobody to get open. You've got to get yourself open and give your point guard some help.
Krantz, 78% free throw shooter, 51 of 65. She's the first backcourt player for Auburn to attempt a free throw today. You see her numbers. She is 6th in the league in assists, 2nd in assist to turnover ratio, but the senior has been consistent for Joe Champy the past 4 years. Krantz
played a ton of minutes.
Absolutely, and she has won a lot of ball games for Joe Champy. As a matter of fact, a couple years ago, she knocked down 8 3-pointers in one game.
Yes. And she was on that team that went 4 in a row over in Chattanooga to win the SEC. I don't think he ever taken her out of the game. There was 4 times 40, it's 160 minutes. I think she played 158.
And it looks like we've got a, well, it doesn't look like it. That's bad news for Auburn. LaCoe Willingham hobbling off. I missed what had happened to her, but you see Coach Champy helping her leading scorer and leading rebounder to the bench.
It looks like it's her right knee, and you never like to see that because that's always tough.
The former Miss Georgia high school basketball player. 6 points, 3 rebounds. And She must have just stepped on somebody's foot by accident. We went back and looked at the tape and really couldn't see anything.
What we have now, you better watch these two guards in for Tennessee because they've been shooting the eyes out of it.
Tamika catching with a spin move on the baseline off the glass. And it's a 10-point Tennessee lead, biggest of the game.
Yes, as you see Catchings, this is why she's a candidate for Player of the Year. Not only can she go inside and as well as outside, but she's strong enough when she shoots the basketball, she can convert. She not only can get the shot, she can make it go to the free throw line, and she just punishes you when you make a mistake defensively.
Catchings flat on that shot off the iron. 1:10 to go. Foul on the Lady Vols.
If you're Lawson there, she doesn't think she fouled, and maybe it was close, but you got a 10-point lead with 1:10. If you miss the free throw, go out on the other end and play defense and make Auburn earn their shots, earn their baskets, because here's the only way Auburn's scoring right now is on the free throw line. They'll make a field goal.
Pat Summitt having a chat. She might get teed up here before too long.
I think she's talking to him in too calm a voice right now to get teed up, Dave. I think she'd have to. I think it's just a normal conversation. You know, coaches just naturally.
Yeah, they're all normal to you guys.
Oh, yeah, they're normal. I was just saying. I was just trying to make a point. Whatever it was.
The 10-team fouls on the Lady Vols. The three good from Catchings. Largest lead of the game has been expanded to 13. Under a minute to go. First half. Auburn has hit a dry spell. Catchings the rebound. Loses the handle. Elsie took a little hop step with it at the top of the key. Gives it back to Auburn with 34.5 to go before halftime.
What you have for Tennessee right now, Dave, a lot of people are scoring. They're getting scoring more than from one person, more than from one player, even though Lawson is doing a large share of it.
There's about 4-second differential on the shot clock and the game clock. Krantz underneath, doesn't have to worry about it. Tiffany Krantz now has 7 points. Lawson under 10 to go. She pulls up on Krantz. Oh my goodness, is Kara Lawson on fire.
What a shot.
At the buzzer, it's no good, but Kara Lawson has knocked down 6 of 9 shots. She has 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and most importantly, she has 15 points for Pat Summitt's Lady Vols, all in the first half. An incredible performance from the freshman guard out of Alexandria, Virginia. And the Lady Volunteers build their lead to 13 in the final moments of the first half. Back with our halftime activities in a moment.
Jeep Cherokee, the role model for four-wheeled vehicles great and small. Lease a two-wheel drive Cherokee Sport for $0 down, $299 a month, and $299 due at signing. See your Carolina Jeep.
The new year has begun at Jim Cogdell Dodge, and it will be big. Over 400 new cars and trucks in stock, loaded with savings.
Dodge Caravans, rebates up to $1,500. Brand new quad cab trucks as low as $18,988. Brand new 3500 Dually with air, $21,988.
It's going on now at Jim Cogdell Dodge, Kingston Pike at Walker Springs, 690-1611.
I was diagnosed with a serious heart illness for which there wasn't much they could do. So one day I just decided, you know, I need to get another opinion here. And I went to Baptist. I learned that I had been misdiagnosed. So I had something that we could do something about. There are many good doctors out there, and I'm living proof of what can happen when you find the right doctor. I found mine at Baptist.
Think pro wrestling is easy? Check out Wrestling 101, Going Deep, tonight at 9.
38-25, our halftime score. Number 2 leads number 11, Tennessee and Auburn. Our SEC Game of the Week, the final game of the week before we head to the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. And perhaps the star of today, without question, maybe the freshman star of the year is Kara Lawson. Coach, she has shown us every facet of the game.
Unbelievable. We first see penetration on the first one. Now we see her shoot the jump shot. She had an assist. She had the jump shot. And then she made the three on the weak side against the Auburn zone. Let me tell you, when you're a basketball player and you can account for points either by shooting the basketball or by passing to your teammates, she's been a difference maker. What a half of basketball, right, for this first half of Kara Lawson.
Well, Tennessee's single-season three-point record holder adds to her totals. She finished with 3 threes in the first half. Back with Gloria Ray of the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame when we return to Knoxville in just one moment.
Shoot a jumper, make the play, and be the star at the Dr. Pepper SEC Fan Fair. Swing by the Georgia World Congress Center March 9th through the 11th for non-stop interactive fun. While you're there, check out Gatorade Center Court, the Chick-fil-A Press Box, and Time Out Grill, sponsored by Fox Sports Net. Daily tickets are $6 or $3 for kids 4 feet and under, or buy a 3-day pass for only $12. For more information, log on to secsports.com. We're all about fun and games at the Dr. Pepper SEC Fan Fair.
Can a bank help you prepare for the year 2000? It can if it's one of the strongest banks in America, Regions Bank. Because all of Regions' systems are Y2K tested and ready. You can check on your money 24 hours a day with the right call. And with Regions Internet Banking, you can pay bills, access your statement, even transfer funds safely and efficiently from anywhere in the world. Regions Bank, one of the strongest banks in America and Y2K ready.
The hells we have lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will. The night has been long. This morning, I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that together we can be made whole. And still we rise.
Hard-hitting, heart-pounding excitement that is the sweet science. Sunday Night Fights, tonight at 7 on Fox Sports Net. Tonight at 9 on Going Deep. Think the road to pro wrestling stardom is easy? It's academic when you sign up for Wrestling 101.
Can you dig that, sucker?
Going Deep, tonight at 9.
Welcome back to halftime. We're inside Thompson Bowling Arena. 38-25 is our halftime score as we continue with our halftime activities. I'm Dave Neal. Dave Neal, I can say my name, I think, along with Van Chancellor and Gloria Ray, the president and CEO of the Knoxville Sports Corporation, which oversees the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. First of all, thanks for joining us here. And, well, it's been about a year, I guess, since the Hall of Fame opened up. But, boy, anywhere you go around, specifically the Southeast right now, it has been the talk. What a fantastic facility that you have put together up there. Has it been almost a surprise to you with the way that this has been taken in by the community here and really in the South?
Well, it really has in terms of the stories that are coming out of women that played many, many years ago, of the family, the men and women that have been involved. And so it's been a real inspiration for these people to come back and see some of the great things. Our motto is to honor the past, celebrate the present, and promote the future. And honoring the past, we have like the original scorebook that women first used. We've got this picture of some guy named Van Chancellor when he coached at AAU, and he was as ugly then as he is now. Yeah.
I keep telling him that all the time. I go, you ain't got any better looking, but he doesn't believe me.
No, he had, but certainly it's been a real energizer. It's been great for little kids, for inspiration. It's been great memories. So it's a real experience. It's not just going and looking at things. It's interactive, and it really makes an impression impression on you, and I think that's why the reaction has been so positive.
Hey, Gloria and I go back a long time, a long, long time. Let me ask you this question. Okay, if you're a fan out there and you want to go to the Hall of Fame, what do you do and how do you actually do it?
Well, it's you know, located here in Knoxville. It's 32,000 square feet. You buy a ticket and you go in. You start out with a 15-minute film that goes from the very beginning of basketball into where we are today and all the changes. Like, I didn't know when they first started, the baskets had bottoms to them because they didn't want the women to work up a sweat and run too fast. So they had to actually go and get the basket. Then you go through the modern-day locker room. You actually go inside the coach locker room and hear what they say. We've got 3 basketball courts. We've got a web page type of thing. Very interactive and very educational.
Gloria, in terms of women's basketball in general, really the past decade, the explosion of women's basketball, television's had a lot to do with that, showing games, but it's gotten so many people involved with it. Have you been surprised at really the depth of the history and how people are kind of going back now and trying to figure out where this all started and who some of the great early players were? Because, you know, Teresa Edwards, we were familiar with, but, you know, there's a group of people before them, some women who really laid the foundation.
Well, and they are, and those that are still living, and those that still want to talk about it, which are most of them, they're very prideful, they're very proud of their accomplishments, and they're still dead-burn competitive. I'll tell you that. When we talked about Shamiqua Hostclaw, a group of ladies in Houston said, well, you know, when Nera White played, said she could still take Hostclaw to the basket today. So there's a lot of pride there, which is wonderful to see. And they're good players.
Van still thinks he's got a jump shot, but I keep telling him, you know what, don't embarrass yourself. You're getting too old.
I think that's the best advice you can give him. But we hope everyone will come. There's a little bit there for everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is something you need to see if you're in the Knoxville area. Gloria, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on everything that has gone on with the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Folks, we will stick around, have more coming your way in just a matter of moments. We'll look at some highlights and some first-half statistics. Tennessee, the number 2 team in the country, leads the 11th-ranked team, the Auburn Tigers. We're at halftime. Back in a moment.
Surprisingly affordable Leganza from Daewoo. At less than $19,000, no other car has taken luxury this far.
Has anyone seen Dave?
Hey, Dave! When you get Wendy's chicken nuggets, you better be careful. Dave? They're so good, everyone will want one. Dave, you in there? No, no one's here. Wendy's 99-cent chicken nuggets, all white meat, so they taste great.
Don't forget the nuggets.
Is Wendy's the place to make your sports fantasy come true? Wendy's and Fox Sports Net are giving away 12 fantasy sports trips in '99. Your next Wendy's receipt can be your ticket to watch your favorite team play a regular season game anywhere in the continental U.S. The Wendy's Sports Fantasy, presented by Fox Sports Net.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape,
It's a red-hot winter sale going on right now at West Chevrolet. Hi, I'm Michelle, and it may be cold outside, but the deals in here are hot. Like this one. Right now, you can drive a new S10 extended cab, 2000 model. It's got CD player, air, automatic, and lots more. Just $238 a month, and that's with no money down. You just sign and drive. Or look at this. You can buy it for just $15,875, only at West Chevrolet. Come see us on the Airport Motor Mile, where the deals are hot.
Business is booming at Ben's Home Center on Clinton Highway, and for good reasons. Quality manufactured homes and exceptional values. Double wide homes as low as $199 a month. Single wides from $159. Current interest rates as reasonable as 7.5% with approved credit. Security systems now available offering special rebates, which can be used with your down payment, and includes no charge monitoring for 3 years. Beautiful homes, great values. Ben's Home Center at 6601 Clinton Highway.
News tonight.
We're back inside Thompson Bowling Arena on the campus of the University of Tennessee. Halftime, 38-25 is our score. Tennessee used a spurt over the last 5 minutes to kind of pull away from Auburn, but certainly the first half was a half where Auburn's defense for 15 minutes just smothered this Tennessee basketball team. And that's probably what we're going to see at the tournament. When you get to the postseason, teams stepping up defensively, Coach. And Auburn plays it every night, but I think teams that get to the Final Four and win conference championships all play great defense.
I think there's two things you do if you're going to play in the championship play. Number one, you got to play great defense. Number two, you got to rebound the basketball.
That's what Tennessee has done specifically in the last 5 minutes of this first half. Let's show you what you can probably expect at the upcoming SEC women's basketball tournament. These are our standings, how it is on the final Sunday of competition. Georgia out in front, 27 wins for Andy Lander's club. Georgia likely to be the 1 seed, Tennessee the 2 seed. Auburn has locked up that 4 seed, which is good news for them, meaning they get a bye. On the other side of these teams, basically, with the exception of Ole Miss and South Carolina, fighting for their NCAA tournament lives.
I don't think there's any doubt. You got Alabama, Kentucky, Florida. They're all fighting for it. As you see it right now, you would see Georgia play either Florida or Kentucky. I think that would probably be Kentucky. Then you would see Auburn play either MSU or Ole Miss. I think the Ole Miss and MSU game is set. LSU would play either Vandy or South Carolina, and Tennessee would play Alabama or Arkansas. What games we'll have in Chattanooga?
Well, let's take a look and show you some of the scores from around the SEC today. Kentucky, I thought I would expected a little bit more out of their game today. Down 16 in the second half to Mississippi State. Knowing what's at stake for them, they're down by 16. Georgia over Vandy by 10 in the second half. A low-scoring game. That Vandy defense still playing very tough basketball, and they're coming off that loss to Tennessee with 0.5 seconds left. Alabama and Florida. It's Florida in that one. Arkansas over Ole Miss. Ole Miss trying to get their first win in SEC play this year in South Carolina and LSU. So, Coach, let's look at it. Okay, obviously the top half we saw, not really major surprises there, but overall, when you look at this conference from top to bottom, what's the biggest surprise story in your eyes?
I don't think there's any doubt. The first 5 teams are where I thought they would be. The 6, 7, 8, and 9 teams, I thought they would already have had 7 wins at this point in time. There are a couple of basketball teams I think have had every opportunity to get it done, to get in the NCAAs, and they haven't. I think the top half and the bottom half, it's been very, very good. Better than I thought it would be. In the middle, I thought those teams would be a little bit better.
Yeah, there are some teams that, you know, mine in the past would have gotten a bid, but they have struggled down the stretch in terms of getting some conference wins. We will come back, have stats and highlights. We're almost ready for second half basketball. Stay with us.
It's SEC TV Weekly on Fox Sports Net. Join us every Saturday morning as we give you all the news, highlights, in-depth interviews, and player profiles from around the Southeastern Conference. Each and every week, we'll bring you all the slams, jams, and big-time plays like only Fox Sports Net can. From the tip-off to the post-game report, SEC TV Weekly has got it covered. Plus, we'll give you a preview of all the week's matchups as we take you barnstorming around the league. All this and more on SEC TV Weekly, Saturdays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
The hells we have lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will. The night has been long. This morning, I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that together we can be made whole. And still we rise.
Surprisingly affordable Leganza from Daewoo. At less than $19,000, no other car has taken luxury this far. All the hard-hitting, heart-pounding excitement that is the sweet science. Sunday Night Fights. Tonight at 7 on Fox Sports Net.
Tonight at 9 on Going Deep. Think the road to pro wrestling stardom is easy? It's academic when you sign up for Wrestling 101.
Can you dig that, sucker?
Going Deep, tonight at 9.
And welcome back to Thompson Bowling Arena. Joe Ciampi, after a little chat with his team at halftime, trying to figure out what went wrong in the final 5 minutes. 38-25 is our score. We are just underway. Kara Lawson led the way with 15 points in the first half for Tennessee, and she opens up with another three, and she's got it. My goodness, Coach.
She's on the weak side against any defense, wide open. She's going to bust the shot. She just can make it. Right now, she's been as good as any freshman I've seen in a long time.
Hamilton from the corner answers. They need her to play extremely well in the final 20 to steal a win on the road.
And right now, this first 5 minutes of this half, people have heard me say the first 5 minutes of the half, but this is crucial, especially to Auburn. They've got to play tough, tough, tough.
Tamika Randall gets on the board. To go in the game. Consuela Sparrow answers back, but here comes Tennessee's Ace Clement.
When you're behind, especially in double digits, you got to make up a point every now and then. 1 point here, 1 point there. Not in a great big rush. Don't panic.
Tamika Randall with a couple of quick baskets. Tamika on the game now has 9 points. Inside, Sparrow. She's going to have to pick up a big load. Nicole Willingham did not come out of the locker room for after halftime. Trying to get an update on her status. First half stats look like this. Neither team really, for the first 10 minutes, shot the ball well at all, but in the final 10 minutes, Tennessee picked it up, finished 50% from the floor, and the biggest disparity in all was free throws.
Yeah, but Tennessee, I thought in the last 5 minutes of the first half, really turned it up. They made a lineup change. They brought McDermott into the basketball game. She helped Lawson just absolutely open it up offensively.
That'll be an offensive foul on Catchings. Consuelo Sparrow steps into the paint, draws the charge.
Tennessee now is going to come out. They're going to try to get this game under control. At this point in time, they're going to half-court trap out of a 2-2-1.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Tennessee basketball. I'll tell you what, in the front court, Coach, Auburn is just 1 of 13 from the floor.
Against this Tennessee basketball team, it's hard to do. It's hard to beat them when you can't make but 1 out of 13 from any position. I've said all along, you've got to shoot a good percentage because Tennessee just has so many weapons.
Randall off the back of the iron. Ace with it. Here's Lawson. Lawson to Catchings. Lawson, believe it or not, looks past first, shot second.
Not only is she scoring, but she accounts for so many points. She's a player that can make plays. Anytime she has a decision, she makes the right decision almost every time.
Biggest lead of the game now is 17.
Watch this, Dave. Watch Lawson. Ball fake, step outside, and then pass the ball into Catchings inside. Anytime you can get a player to look opposite and pass the ball opposite from where she's standing, that's just court vision.
R.B. Summit came down to talk to us, and you asked him, says, how about Lawson? He had a big smile on his face. R.B. Summit, the husband of Pat Summit.
She'll be here 3 more years.
Or will she?
Oh, yeah, she'll be here. All right. The female players realize the value of a college education.
Michelle Snow off the iron.
And that's not to say that the men players don't realize it. It's just so much money out there for them. I'm not saying that. I mean, I just think that in our sport, get your college education. Nobody will ever take that away from you. Nobody.
I got a college education. Look where it got me.
Oh, yeah, the Star, the Fox Sports Net.
I'm sitting here next to you. That's where
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I had to burn my white jacket because they called me and told me that I was making the Star of the show look bad, and I couldn't do that.
Oh, mercy. Shot clock down to 7. France couldn't get the roll. Loose ball. Burnett tried to save it. Out come the Lady Vols. 2-on-1. Randall throws it up. She'll step to the free throw line for 2 shots. That white coat should have gotten you maybe possibly some movie roles. I mean, you could have been a James Bond.
Oh, let's get serious.
Don Johnson type guy.
They don't take one of the ugliest guys in America and make him into a movie star. Let's get that straight. You can't take this Mississippi accent I got and hide that. So let's. I am lovable, and that's about it.
I hope you folks at home are with us at the beginning of the telecast when our tease, little thing we set up, little video before we come into the arena to get the game started, was voiced over today by Van Chancellor. We said Battle Royale as only he can.
Well, I'll say this much. I was honored to even be asked. I mean, we wanted to change the pace from the usual superstar of this show.
Ron Thulin out in L.A.
Oh, yeah.
Be with us today.
Yeah, he's doing the NBA halftime show tonight.
49-30, and Tennessee putting the heat on.
Don't think that as many times as Pat Summitt's played Joe Champion, don't think she thinks that this 19-point lead's safe. She's going after it now. She's trying to pressure, make the play, see if she can get Auburn out of this basketball game.
Auburn beats the pressure. Here comes Tennessee after the Hamilton basket. Transition defense lacking somewhat by Auburn right now.
Okay, but you see Auburn gets a fairly easy shot. Inside to Hamilton, Spencer makes the pass. But on the very next play, Tennessee, before you can say your last name, here's Randall on the other end shooting 2 free throws. Transition defense. I still believe it. We talk about what is the secret to winning championships, being a good basketball team. Transition defense, half-court defense. No easy baskets.
Tamika Randall putting her name in the scorebook 13 times with 13 points. She's perfect from the free throw line, 5 of 5. And Tennessee's lead is up to 19 points. Go online with the Southeastern Conference at secsports.com. This interactive site features up-to-date statistics, as well as cybercast coverage of conference events throughout the year. Fans can also shop in the all-new SEC Superstore, qualify for a trip to an upcoming championship, or listen to weekly coaches' media briefings. Don't miss all the action at secsports.com.
Car living a tough life. Better use a tough oil. Valvoline DuraBlend, the one strengthened with synthetics to outperform all leading conventional motor oils. Valvoline DuraBlend, tough oil for a long, tough life.
The new two-wheel drive Jeep Grand Cherokee offers impressive power and handling. And with a special introductory lease of just $299 a month, it's no wonder everyone's going out of their way to get a look at it. The $299 a month Grand Cherokee lease. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
Tennessee 51-32. I think the best part of the game for me, timeouts. When you and I get to chat a little bit. And we've chatted a little bit about this particular individual, Michelle Marciniak, helped lead Tennessee national championship. Now part of the Lady Volunteer Radio Network. And there is Kelly Jolly Harper, who in her first year as an assistant to Joe Champy's staff at Auburn, believe it or not. Of course, she helped lead Tennessee to national championships as well. So when you talk about point guards, there are some great ones in the building right now. And now you throw in a player like Kara Lawson, and boy, the sequence of point guards is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, but the difference between Lawson and those first 2 point guards, Lawson has a 2-guard mentality when it comes to scoring. Jolly and Marciniak like to pass the basketball. Lawson's never seen a shot she didn't think she's going to make, nor like.
Rita Spencer. Stolen away by Catchings. Ace Clement inside. Off the glass, and it's good. And for Ace, she now has 4 points. Lead back to 19. Burnett, the rebound underneath. Hamilton turns, fires, and it's good. Tasha Hamilton. She's got 10 points.
I think we'll see a sub for Snow because she didn't rebound the last basketball. There's a lot of things that irritate coaches, but in Tennessee, the thing that bothers me Summit is failure to rebound the basketball.
Ace. Rebound, Hamilton. Auburn fires quickly. Burnett had a hand on it, knocked it to Sparrow. They'll reset. .22 to go in the game. Spencer from behind the arc. Got it. Rita Spencer, the junior college transfer, buries the 3.
She's given them a spark. She's come in with nothing to lose. She's not starting very much for Auburn. And get a shot, put it in the basket. I like her attitude. She'll be a player that'll be good for Auburn's basketball team next year.
Ace Clement with a nice pass to Randall, probably a little too nice. Randall lost the handle. Here's Spencer, 53-37.
And I'm surprised. Tennessee's playing a lot of zone today. More zone than they usually play.
Sparrow continues to battle. Keeps her momentum headed toward the rim and able to convert the basket. Pat Summitt calls a timeout and just starts gliding into Michelle Snow.
Because I thought from the last 3 minutes of play that Pat was unhappy with how Snow was rebounding the basketball, or anybody else on that matter for Tennessee. When you play for Tennessee, you got to get up and go on the boards. As you see Auburn go inside, right inside the Sparrow, the ball is shot. You got to go in and get the basketball. I think Snow had 3 fouls. She was worried about fouling out. I think in that case, you got to play. If you foul, foul.
Right. Absolutely. Sparrow, preseason All-SEC selection. Comes up big to help Auburn on a 7-0 run to get right back in. It's a 14-point game, and Michelle Snow is catching the wrath of her coach, which...
But at Tennessee, it doesn't make any difference, Dave, who you are. If you don't get the job done, you're going to, she's going to get your attention one way or the other, either by talking to you or setting you down.
I've seen her even get a little piece of Shamiqua Holt's claw a time or two.
No question. I don't care who you are here.
Yeah. Catching from the corner, short. Hamilton cross court. Burnett set a screen up high. Here's Hamilton in the corner now. They swing it over. Johnson too strong. Burnett loses the handle. Ace Clement leads the charge. She's fouled and will go to the free throw line.
I think Ace, I want to give her credit from the Vandy game. I think she's playing with renewed enthusiasm, more energy, trying to make plays instead of waiting on all the plays to come to her. I like the way she's carrying the ball to the basket. I have not seen her do that much this year. She's drawing fouls. She's playing defense, making plays.
Ace Clement, a little inspiration on her wrapped ankles, attitude on the right ankle, and Philly on the left. I'm assuming Philly, she's from Broomall, Pennsylvania, and I'm assuming that Philly is referring to the Final Four site this year in the year 2000.
Lady Vols don't think about anything but the Final Four national championship. They're not thinking about any other.
All you got to do is look to the rafters to figure that out. 6 of those bad boys.
Some people want to get in the tournament. The Lady Vols want to win a national championship. They're number 7.
Burnett just inside the 3-point line, knocks down the jumper. Burnett averages just about 5 points a game, and today that's her first bucket.
And give Auburn credit. They were down. They had a shot to give up. Tennessee was at home up 19, playing well. Auburn couldn't get anything to go right. Now all of a sudden, Auburn jumped back in the basketball game, only down 14. I said it all along. When points and minutes coincide, you still have a shot to win the game. Anytime you're not behind more than how many minutes you have left to play, you still can win the game.
Spencer bounces it to Sparrow. Off the glass, short-armed it. Going up again and got it this time.
Sparrow had the ability to stay with the ball, Dave. You miss it, you miss a little easy shot. So many players get their head down. Consuelo just was able to pick it back up and stick it in.
One of the stronger post players in this league. Shot clock. Randall fires.
I can't tell you in women's basketball how important, maybe in any sport, but how important it is with a shot clock running down and you can do what Randall did. That's to have the ability to create your own shot.
Good pick by Sparrow. Sparrow. Water out of there by Catchings. There's 5 on the shot clock. Burnett from the free throw line. Won't go down. Hamilton at 5'10" among the trees gets the rebound.
Auburn is rebounding so well right now offensively. Tennessee's got to do a better job of going up in defensive rebound. Catchings has got to help. If they've got to, they can need to send every guard they have. They've got a defensive rebound.
Here's Clement. Over to Randall. Randall spins in the paint.
Yes, but let me tell you why this defense is so tough. Right now, Lawson is starting out on the perimeter, out at the guard spot, and she's going inside, as you will see that, and that's opening it up for players like Randall to come in to high. You see Randall come in and watch her shoot the basketball, Dave.
Tamika Randall buries the jumper with the shot clock at 3. Tennessee still in control.
You're there to do a job. You're focused. This is a team. And no one person on the team is more important than the other. You're into your job.
Got the whole world watching. The journalists.
You want to get on the air, you got to bust your butt and get something special. I got best seats in the house.
50 years ago, Fox Motor Company began selling quality used cars. Toyota awarded Fox and Clinton one of Tennessee's first dealerships. Since 1965, the Fox Toyota family of satisfied customers has grown to make 1999 our best year ever. As second-generation management, we believe success comes from our founders' reputation for honesty, integrity, and fair dealing. If you're shopping for a new Toyota or good used car, come to Fox and Clinton. We'll make sure you're totally satisfied.
A great philosopher once said, life's too short to eat stuff you don't like. Mrs. Winter was right. That's why she's cooking fresh, hot chicken and biscuits at everyday value prices. Right now, get our delicious 10-piece family meal for only $12.99. That's 10 big pieces of crispy golden brown chicken, 2 large sides, 5 free biscuits, and a free gallon of tea. All for just $12.99. No coupons, no cards, no hassle. Just the best chicken at a terrific price. Mrs. Winter's Chicken and Biscuits. Eat what you like.
$95 plus $3.99 shipping and receive your free anime video. Call 1-800-936-3311 now.
12-point Tennessee lead, 10:30 to go in the second half. And for Auburn, the news is not good. The score is pretty bad, but this looks pretty bad too. Nicole Willingham has a sprained right knee. She will be out for the remainder of the game. She was having a tough day from the field, 0 for 3. As you can see, she is still in a little bit of pain and wondering what will happen come tournament time and postseason. Joe Champy will worry about that when the game ends and he can concentrate on LeCoe, but for the time being, trying to get his team back in this one. Biggest lead was 21, but since then, Tennessee has given up a 13-4 Auburn run.
Willingham's case, any doubt, hold her out of the SEC. Let her have the 10 days off between then and NCAA time to give her a chance to heal and let her play in the NCAA tournament.
Randall double team, nowhere to go. Sparrow just a wall of force underneath and a 3-second violation. Boy, 45 in blue is a wall in the post.
Oh, no question about it. But I like the defense without fouling. That's one of the things I think Auburn does well. They're not going to send you to the free throw line a lot. It's useless.
Well, today, Tennessee is just 7 of 8 in the free throw line. Meanwhile, Auburn's been there 20 times, and they have knocked down 13.
What Auburn's going to do at this time, I think Coach Joe Champion's going to take a 30-second timeout. They're having a little trouble with this Tennessee pressure. But what Auburn has to do is take the ball, carry it to the basket, go to the free throw line, make those free throws. Because let me tell you now, you're only down 12 with 10 minutes to go, and that's not bad.
Auburn has shot the ball 21 times here in the second half. They're 9 of 21. Tennessee just 6 of 10. As Al Brown, one of the great assistant coaches in college basketball, discussing tactics with Pat Summitt.
Tremendous mind. Of the guys I've been around in coaching, I've been impressed with how much he knows the game, how well he studies the game and looks at film.
Think the road to pro wrestling stardom is easy? Join Going Deep's own George Chickarone as he hits the mat to learn a few tricks of the trade at Wrestling 101 tonight at 9 on Fox Sports Net.
Who is George Chickarone? Oh, I should have been a pro wrestling manager.
You have. You have been in previous life. I'm sure of it.
I think I'm suited for that.
You should battle royale like I've never heard it before today.
I mean, I can't have it because you don't live around class in your life.
Burnett off the glass. Shot clock got down to under 10. 10-point basketball game. 9:32 to go.
Anytime you're down in 10 points, anything can happen with this three-point shot. All you need is a couple of defensive stands by Auburn right now.
Spencer has changed the complexion of this game at the point for Joe Champy. Lawson fires short. Loose ball. And they'll give it to Auburn as it looks as though Catching's still on the ground. Oh my gosh, if she goes down, Tennessee loses their main gun.
I don't like the fact of how long she's laying there.
It would be something if we lose both leading scorers. We'll take another look at the sprawl for the ball, if you will.
Is that a wrestling term or a basketball term? As we see the ball right to Catchings, and is that Hamilton? Little dive in action.
That is Tasha Hamilton. Catchings is 24 in white.
You know, as you look at that on the replay, if the ref sees it, that's two players fighting for the ball, and I think you got to give them an equal right to the ball. You hate to see any player get hurt, but I think in that case that was a correct call.
We will just hold off here and find out from the proper personnel exactly what that injury is. You don't want to speculate in a situation like this, but certainly not a good sign for college basketball, not just the Lady Volunteers. Tamika Catchings, one of the premier, if not premier players in the NCAA.
Yes, a player that's come in here, worked so hard. She's one of the reasons you see 18,000 people in here. When you look at this situation here and you think about women's basketball and how far it's come, you think on a Sunday afternoon in an SEC game that's live on national television that they're drawing 18,000 people. Is that unbelievable, the support they have here in Knoxville?
Tamika Catchings averages 15 points, 7 rebounds, about 3 blocks a game, second in the conference in steals, 7th in scoring, 7th in rebounds, 4th in free throw percentage, 23 career double-doubles to her credit. I mean, the list goes on and on about her accomplishments, but most importantly, is the respect she garners from her teammates and the respect she garners from her coaching staff.
Yeah, because she plays it every day hard. She practices hard. She comes out to play. She loves the game. As you see her in Hamilton, as we see on the replay, the ball is loose. As you see Hamilton and Kitchens going for the basketball. And I'm not sure, I'm like you, Dave, we don't want to say anything till we find out exactly what has happened.
9.7 rebounds today, and you don't want to have any kind of stretched or torn ligaments or cartilage, specifically in the knee and ankle area, and hopefully that's not the case here.
Because here's a player that's played so well, is a candidate for National Player of the Year, candidate for SEC Player of the Year.
Maybe she banged her head on the basketball floor. She puts the towel up over her face. And she gets a well-deserved standing ovation from this senior day crowd in Knoxville.
Mom, if you're back home watching in Texas, it looks like to me that she's fine. She's walking off on her own. I think she just needs a rest.
Of course, her father, former NBA star Harvey Kitchens.
And he's probably where? Illinois? Wherever he is, I think she's fine. I don't know how parents were. I know if it was my daughter, that's what I would be worried about. Not a basketball game, but how do they feel, and is she seriously injured?
We will update you as soon as we get some information from the Tennessee staff. Hamilton, smart play off the knee of Kyra Elsie, but we'll see how this Tennessee team responds to the loss of their superstar.
Yes, and right now, if you're Auburn, all you need to do is make a basket, cut it down to 8, Kitchens on the beach, create a little pressure.
There you go, turnover, Randall. She'll take it in herself.
You're up 10, and you get the basketball, and you get in your Tennessee, and you get a steal, and now we have another steal out of bounds.
Randall causes the turnover. Timeout, Tigers. And just like that, the lead back to 12.
The Tennessee pressure. You held the ball out of bounds. You think you have a shot to go in and score, and you're Auburn. All of a sudden, you look up, Randall steals the basketball. You go, and you're now down 12, and then you step on the end line as we see it on the replay. Tremendous pressure. Elsie's out of bounds on Spencer, and here comes Randall for the loose ball, and the steal, and the conversion, and the layup, and then forces a turnover on the inbounds play.
And on the inbounds pass, the forced turnover.
But Bernard Bennett threw the ball against the baseline, and I think hit out of bounds.
Randall taps it to herself. Pillow the rebound. Bernath grabs it for Auburn. Spencer pulls up on Lawson, gets the jumper to fall. Larita Spencer with a big second half for Auburn.
What a turnaround right there on that play. That was a 4-point turnaround instead of being down 14. They're only down 10 with their 2-2-1 zone pressure against Tennessee.
Weaker teams might have folded with the pressure, but Auburn just answers right back, creates the turnover, scores on the other end.
Right now, Lawson is not getting as many opportunities offensively.
I think she's getting a little frustrated. She had 15 first half points. Now she's trying to force some shots that maybe aren't in rhythm.
Anytime she goes through, Auburn goes through with her. In other words, they play it. They're in a zone. Auburn's in a zone. If the ball goes through or Lawson goes through, they go into a man.
Pull up. Scores for Tennessee. Against the Lady Volunteers. And that'll send Lakeisha Johnson to the free throw line, the freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Auburn is doing a really good job of when they get the ball on the baseline against this Tennessee defense, penetrating and drawing fouls, and I think that's one of the things you have to do. Johnson has come into the game, has received on the right side, is going baseline, going up for the shot.
Johnson converts. 61-50, 11-point game. Timeout taken on the floor. Auburn hanging around. 7:32 to go in the basketball game. Show champion company still right in it.
Surprisingly affordable Leganza from Daewoo. At less than $19,000, no other car has taken luxury this far.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism, so you end up burning more calories.
Strength training these days isn't just for men. It's great for women, too. And Bowflex is designed for both. It's even been called the best home gym by Fitness Magazine.
Use as little as 5 pounds to more than 400 pounds of resistance. Follow our 6-week fast fat loss program or create your own from over 60 different health club quality exercises.
Bowflex is easy to own, and it fits in any room in your house. It comes with a 6-week guarantee on results, and you can finance it with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
Tennessee by 11, second half basketball, 7:32 to go in the game. And at the end of the bench is Tamika Catchings. They have iced down her elbow, her hip, and whatnot, but it looks as though the word we get is she has a bruised forehead. She hit her head on the hardwood here. She should be all right. Don't forget, Tamika Catchings and company will be at the UTC Arena in Chattanooga March 2nd through the 5th for the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. 4 tickets, call that number on your screen.
1-800. We know that much.
Lawson. And it looks as though Randall just kind of twisted an ankle. Moving around all right. That'll be Auburn basketball. Defensive stop. Randall said it went off a Tiger player, but nobody seems to be listening.
Yeah, but Randall's not officiating this basketball game. I heard a big-time ref say one time he didn't mind 2 coaches getting in his ear because he already knew the outcome of the decision before he talked to them.
Hamilton to Nero, 44 up top, guarded by Quinn Jackson, the freshman. Good look to Spencer. Tried to go underneath, fouls it. Spencer wanted to tie up, but Spencer should have taken the shot from 10 feet.
No question. I said it often. When you're 10 feet from the basket and you have a shot, shoot the basketball. When you're 4'11" or 5'2", what you got to do is make the play. You're not going to do you any good to go under there where those giants are.
April McDivitt in the backcourt now. Elsie, McDivitt, Randall, Pillow, and Jackson. Hamilton, Spencer, Johnson, Nero, and Sparrow for Auburn.
I like the changes defensively that Joe Champion's put in. He's changed to a 1-2-2 zone. What he's doing then, he's playing on the pass. Anytime Lawson's in the game, he's playing her man when she goes through. Anytime she's not in the game, they're playing straight 1-2-2 zone. This is a defense that's really worked for them in the second half of this game.
Samika Randall to the free throw line. And Samika, 12 points today. 13, I should say, in the second half. She has 18 overall. What a second half she has had. Pillow takes a seat. Michelle Snow back on the floor after taking a lengthy breather.
I will bet you that Miss Snow rebounds the basketball in this last 6 minutes and 19 seconds. I just have a feeling that Auburn shoots the ball, Snow has the ball.
Big possession. They're all big now for Auburn. Johnson. Stolen away by Elsie. Great read defensively. Takes it in and gets the layup.
And that's a player that's overcome so much. He's been hurt. Now Joe Champy's going to take a timeout because he doesn't want Tennessee to get too far ahead at this time.
LZ averages just 3.5 points a game. But the 6'1 senior out of LaGrange, Kentucky, has been so vital to this basketball team.
Yeah, but she's overcome so much, so many injuries over the last 4 years of her career here. As you'll see, Elsie go for the steal and then have the ability in traffic against pressure to make the layup. But what I want to say, Dave, is this. When a player like Elsie's gone through as many things as she's gone through, so many injuries, so many rehabs, come back, re-injured, then you get an opportunity to play in your last and final basketball game. I think it's special. And I know announcers are not supposed to be rooting for players or individual players, but you can't help but rooting for someone like that to do good individually.
Kyra Elsie is a senior academically, but due to all the injuries, she's a junior in eligibility. She could be back next year.
If she does, I'll say one thing. It'll be just tremendous effort on her part because she's gone through so much.
That'll be a foul against Tennessee and April McDivitt right in front of Coach Summit. 2 quick fouls. And that's the 3rd on McDivitt.
Auburn's got to come down now. When you're down 15 with 5.5 minutes to go, you've got to get some quick shots and then apply the pressure defensively.
Sparrow underneath, the underhand shot over Michelle Snow makes it a 13-point game. Underneath Jackson, great look from McDivitt, but Jackson couldn't hold on to it.
Yes, I thought that was a wonderful pass. Jackson wanted to try to score before she caught the basketball. And then I think Auburn's going to bring in Krantz now to get some outside shooting and ball handling. But I think right now they've got to have some offense.
Sabrina Minter out of Chicago, whistle for the offensive foul.
I'm not saying whether this was a foul or not. I was looking on the weak side to see what they were doing defensively. But I've seen all year long just too many offensive fouls called when I don't think there's anything to it. As we pass the basketball, a lot of flop down and a lot of action and not much foul. I think we ought to ignore that play. I think when we get an offensive foul, we ought to make sure there's contact, that there's enough contact to warrant an offensive foul, because that's a loss of a possession of a basketball.
Otherwise, let them go.
Yes, sir, Reed. But I'm not saying in that case. I wasn't that close, but I'm just saying over the Southeastern Conference season. I just see it on television of other leagues, of other games. Too many offensive fouls. I'm not sure they are offensive fouls.
Randall perfect at the line today. She now has 20 points. I agree with you. I think play on is the soccer term, and when you see players flop trying to draw a charge, you know what? You hit the deck. If you don't get up in 2 seconds, sorry, your guy's going to score a bucket on you.
That's right. And I'm saying this. In this case, this is something that I think that we ought to be absolutely sure of. When you call a charge, it ought to be a charge. Do you know anything about soccer, by the way?
Absolutely. 11.
Oh.
Thank you. That's my quiz for the day. I passed. Now, because I answered, you're going to give me a ride to the airport?
Yes, I am. I'm going to actually drive back.
All right.
In my rental car.
Yeah, right. Am I going to have to buy you dinner?
Yeah, because I bought lunch.
I knew there was a trick to this. Here's the pressure from Auburn. Elsie. That is a charge.
But I will say this. What's been on one end, been on the other end. What's been in front of Joe's bench has been called. What's been in front of Pet's bench has been called. So if you're going to do that, I will not gripe too much. Both teams are in the 1-and-1. Every time there's been any doubt, it has not been called blocking. It has been called charging, and the whistle is blown every time. Give them an A for that.
Joe Ciampi trying to put one final run together here with 4:45. Minner will need to knock down these free throws. Sabrina played every game last year. This year she's only played in 14 contests, and that's because of the play of Larita Spencer. The junior college transfer has really been a major impact to this Auburn program.
Yes, and I think she's added a new dimension for them, a lot of quickness. Right now, if you're Auburn, you better jump out and press. You just can't be token pressing. You got to go for some steals now. You got to force some turnover.
We'll see quite a few minutes out of Sabrina Minner next year, I'm sure. In the backcourt with Spencer, perhaps.
Auburn's recruited 4 outstanding new players that they think will come in and make immediate contributions.
Elsie lost it, then traveled with it. Minner for 3, no good. Askew weak side rebound. Jackson may have gotten a piece of that. Minner's shot blocked by Snow, and there's a tie-up underneath on Askew.
Right now, looks like the officials are going to control this game from start to finish, irregardless of the score, how much time is left. You commit a foul, no reaching in.
Here comes Hamilton, here comes Burnett. Mentor heads to the bench. So does Lori Nero. And Elsie to the free throw line. Elsie played quite a few minutes here in the second half. Tied up. Auburn basketball. Here comes Ace Clement. Timeout on the floor as we hit under 4 minutes, 3:59 to be exact, to go in the basketball game. Tennessee back out in front by 13. Time running out on the Tigers.
If you were going to build the perfect lawn and garden tractor, what would it look like? Would it have a direct drive shaft? A hydraulic deck lift? What about a cast iron front axle or a welded steel frame? How easy would your tractor be to operate? Would it have power steering and cruise control? How about an automatic transmission? Would your tractor have a cup holder? See, the reason we ask is we've already built that tractor, the Cub Cadet, the world's best designed lawn and garden tractor. Call this number now to find out what makes the Cub Cadet that much better than an ordinary tractor. We'll also tell you the name of a dealer near you. And if you call now, we'll even give you 6 months, same as cash. This is the tractor you've always wanted. The one you should have bought in the first place. The one you'll never want to give up. Cub Cadet. Call now and feel the difference for yourself.
March Madness is finally here, and a trip to the big dance is on the line. SEC tournament action tips off Friday at 1 Eastern on Fox Sports Net. Fox Sports News Primetime wraps up all the day's NBA highlights, including intimate post-game interviews. It makes me feel like I know the players' fiendish little secrets, like we're 2 little schoolgirls who have pillow fights and tickle fights. You'll understand what I mean when you watch NBA highlights on Fox Sports News Primetime.
Well, Anthony Munoz, NFL Hall of Famer, All-Pro, offensive lineman, many years The Cincinnati Bengals in attendance. His son just signed on to play football here at Tennessee, one of the premier offensive linemen in the country, and his daughter also expressed some good news if you're a Tennessee basketball fan.
Yes, that's his daughter right there that signed to play here. Is that a great addition to this team? Already a talented team?
Just a junior in high school, was already committed to Tennessee program, and certainly you're going to hear the name Munoz for the next 4, 5, 6 years here in Knoxville. Get used to it, folks.
I met him before the game, and I thought to myself, is he still playing? He looks like he's in shape enough to play right now.
He didn't have any orange on yet, though. You know he's got some with Cincinnati.
He'll have some before long. Don't worry about it. If you are in Tennessee and you support this program, you have to have orange.
I think he worked with my dad for a year doing stuff. I need to go talk to him. 67-54. As you can see, he's out of the business. Just one more guy. My dad's gotten fired.
Oh, your dad is a legend, buddy. That's your problem. You'll never be him, so let's go to something else.
Anthony's still doing some TV work. Jump shot by Bernath. Off the mark.
In my mind, Auburn's got to pressure Tennessee. They've got to come out and create some turnovers defensively to get more offensive opportunities when you're down 13. But Tennessee's going to be very, very patient. Run the clock on every possession.
Randall. Oh, she is so great, Coach, when she slashes to the basket with her tremendous athletic ability.
When you give her that opportunity, she's doing a good job running the clock down, getting in the basket. Tennessee's quick running. Tennessee's playing smart basketball up 15 with 2:50 to go. They're making each possession count. They're going to run the shot clock down, be very patient. I'd be very surprised if they shot the ball any quicker than in the last 10 seconds of the 30.
For Randall, it's a season-high 23 today. She's 2 off her career high, which she scored against UConn last year. Clement, time running out. 2 on the shot clock. Coach, they've done that a half a dozen times today with 2-3 seconds on the shot clock, creating and making a shot.
But you got to have the presence to know what the shot clock is. Where is it at? How many seconds do I have? I cannot make one more pass. I got to make the shot.
And not to mention the ability to create your own shot.
Clements and Randall can do that.
Here's Randall underneath. Here's Gwen Jackson from behind the arc. Off the iron. Rebound, Hamilton.
I don't think Miss Summit wanted that shot. Gwen, I think she'd have liked you to pass it back out, hit one of those guards, and run a little clock.
Face Clement. Pillow. We whistled for the push, I believe. Michelle Snow.
I think if I was Gwen Jackson, I would be glad I was up 14 points here at home with 1:47 after taking that shot.
Sparrow going to the free throw line. Sparrow today's had a pretty nice basketball game. She's got 11 rebounds, 13 points, another double-double for her.
Sparrow's a very good free throw shooter. She won the Vandy game for them, and that was a key game for Auburn. I thought the key game of the year for them was at Vandy when they won, and Sparrows made 2 free throws with 2 seconds to go in the game after getting fouled.
There goes Samika Randall, who set a season high, just 2 off a career high. She was 7 of 14 from the floor, perfect at the free throw line, 9 of 9. Also had 4 rebounds in the game. And with 1:47 to go, Pat Summitt getting most of her players into the game. When Jackson takes a seat.
Now we have Lawson in the game, and I bet you she'll control what goes on for Tennessee, and who takes a shot, who gets open.
I'll go the other way with it. Foul against Tennessee.
I think that...
And Michelle Snow will call it a day, and this is probably one of those games she would just as soon forget. 1 of 3, 2 points, and 1 rebound.
I think Michelle Snow today has let the emotions of officiating and the way she's played and the way the game is going affect her. You've got to forget all of that. You've got to put all of that beside you and get out and play basketball.
And here comes LaShonda Stevens, and nice that she can get back in the game. The senior on senior day, one of the 2 seniors celebrated today. Basically, she starts the game. Now she gets to kind of finish it up.
And that's nice. You get to start the game, end the game. And what is your final game here at home, regular scheduled game? There's no question Tennessee will host one of those regional playoffs. They'll be a first seed after this win.
And Rita Spencer comes in to replace Tiffany Krantz. Krantz will head to the bench. She finished with 7 points and 1 assist today. Ace Clement. McDivitt back to Ace. Ace goes baseline. Nowhere to go. And Nero, Bernath, both double teamer. We'll see who gets the foul.
Pass inside. The ball is lost, going up by Crispin out of bounds. And so Tennessee gets it back. Well, long day and a long bus ride coming up for Bernadette Maddox, but she knows she's in this thing for the long haul, and she really feels that she's just a couple of recruiting classes away from being in a position to at least make a run at an SEC championship. Pillow at the free throw line. No good. Seton gets the rebound, although she does lose quite a few seniors off this team. Crispin has the ball sail out of bounds, as she'll lose Jackson and Tiffany Waite, and also Owens off this squad.
Well, Coach Maddox has done a nice job that she's in her 5th year at Kentucky. Of course, she coached for the men's Kentucky team from 90 to 94. That's quite an impressive stat right there. And she's a great coach, and, you know, just has to get some talented players in and remain consistent.
Pillow. Whistle and a traveling violation on Shalon Pillow. 1:27 to go. We've been stuck on 75-48 for a while. Tennessee's got a long time without a basket during this last few minutes. The sun's coming out. I haven't seen that in a couple of days. It's peeking through the doorways here at Thompson Bowling Arena. Martinez on the right side. Bullock jump shot, no good, and Morris gets the rebound. Divot is fouled coming to front court. And Adams got her. That's 4 on her. 1:06 to go. And Tennessee on the verge of winning 18 straight against the Wildcats. So the new millennium not helping Kentucky break this streak, as we mentioned earlier, Kentucky was 0 for the 90s against Tennessee. Now McDivitt at the line, trying to get in the ledger, and she misses. So Tennessee now 15 of 24 today at the line. McDivitt, 68% free throw shooter. Played well against NC State yesterday at 13. Missed both of those. In fact, she was 4 of 4 from the field yesterday and 3 of 3 at three-point range. 1 minute left to go on this one. Adams working down the lane, holds that ball out, but missed it. Pillow got the rebound. McDivitt will bring it up. McDivitt, nice spin move, follow-away jumper, stays down for it. Remind me another Tennessee point guard with a ponytail, Cinderella Marciniak.
Yeah.
38 seconds to go.
Nice little spin move by April McDivitt. She's got that move down pat.
McDivitt gets it out to Morris. Nice catch. Throws it off reverse style. No good. Crispin runs it down.
Pat's just shaking her head going, I don't know what that was.
Outside as Kentucky. 20 seconds to go. Long three. Air ball. Out of bounds. Why not? With 14.2 seconds to go. Bernadette Maddox didn't like that shot very much. This is going to be I'm sure the coaching staff will have a chance. You got to corral for 3 hours on that bus going home to do some soul searching.
It's the worst.
And so Tennessee trying to get a bucket for Cannon. Amanda misses from the outside. Martinez rebounds, and the buzzer finally sounds, and this game is over. Tennessee impressively wins today against Kentucky, led by 20 at halftime, and kept pouring it on in the second half. Never let Kentucky back into the game. And now Tennessee leads the all-time series with the Cats. 34 wins for Tennessee, 5 for Kentucky, as Tennessee moves to 16-3 in the SEC. Overall, 5-1 in the SEC. Tennessee wins over Kentucky. The wrap-up when we come back in a moment.
The tradition continues on ESPN. First, it's the women, as the Lady Vols take on the Huskies. Then at 9, it's UConn's men's team traveling to Philadelphia to take on Villanova. But the night begins with the women, as Tennessee tries to avenge their loss to Connecticut earlier this season. The tip from Gamble Pavilion is next. ESPN's exclusive presentation of NCAA